we are covering Crew Resource Management, often called CRM, for the FAA Part 107 exam. Crew Resource Management is the effective use of all available resources to ensure a safe and efficient flight operation. This includes people, like visual observers, the drone hardware and its supporting equipment, and all available information, such as weather data, checklists, and airspace maps. The Part 107 exam will test your understanding of CRM not as an abstract theory, but as a practical tool for the remote pilot in command. A common exam trap is to think CRM only applies to large teams. Even as a solo pilot, you are practicing a form of this called Single Pilot Resource Management, or SRM. When you check your weather app, consult a sectional chart, use a pre-flight checklist, or communicate with a curious bystander to ensure they stay clear of your drone, you are managing your resources effectively. The exam will likely present a scenario question asking how a solo PIC demonstrates CRM. The answer will involve using external resources like a checklist or an automated weather briefing tool, not just relying on memory. For operations involving a crew, such as a visual observer or a person manipulating the controls, the PIC's role as a manager is critical. Before takeoff, the PIC must conduct a thorough pre-flight briefing. This briefing ensures everyone understands the flight plan, their specific duties, potential hazards, and emergency procedures. An exam question might ask what the most critical element of a pre-flight briefing is, and the answer will relate to ensuring all crew members understand their roles and responsibilities for that specific mission. A key concept borrowed from manned aviation that you must know for the test is the sterile cockpit rule. This means that during critical phases of flight, like takeoff, landing, and all operations below 10,000 feet, all non-essential conversation and activities must stop. The exam could test this with a scenario where a visual observer tries to point out something unrelated to the flight while you are preparing to land in a tight space. The correct CRM procedure is for the PIC to call for a sterile cockpit to eliminate distractions and focus solely on the task at hand. Communication breakdowns are a leading cause of aviation incidents, and your Part 107 exam will emphasize this. Good CRM fosters an environment where all crew members feel empowered to speak up if they see a potential hazard. Imagine a scenario where the visual observer spots a bird approaching the drone, but the PIC is focused on the camera view. The VO must communicate this threat clearly. What if there's a disagreement? For example, the PIC believes there is enough battery to complete one more pass, but the visual observer is concerned about the increasing wind. Good CRM dictates that the concern is heard and considered, but the exam will always reinforce that the remote pilot in command has the final authority and responsibility for the safety of the operation. Never choose an answer that suggests a VO or anyone else can overrule a PIC safety decision. To help you remember how to apply CRM in a practical way for the exam, use the mental shortcut PAVE. That's PAVE. Before every flight, use CRM to assess the P for pilot, A for aircraft, V for environment, and E for external pressures. Are you, the pilot, fit to fly, using a checklist like Iron Safe to check for illness, medication, stress, alcohol, and fatigue? Is the aircraft airworthy? Have you checked the weather and airspace for the environment? Are there external pressures, like a client rushing you, that could compromise safety? Using the PAVE checklist forces you to use all your available information resources, which is the core of crew resource management. For free practice questions, AI-powered explanations, and more exam prep tools, visit openexamprep.com. That's openexamprep, all one word, .com.